Have you ever wondered what separates the ones who merely survive from those who dominate? The kind of people who seem untouchable, unstoppable, as if they know something the rest of us don't. They do. Today, we're unlocking a secret that's been hidden in plain sight. A secret forged in a place so extreme it doesn't just teach success, it manufactures it. The White Room. And now, for the first time, we've brought its prodigy here. Welcome back, entrepreneurs. Today, we venture into uncharted territory. You've heard me talk about strategies, principles, and game-changing ideas before. But today, it's not about what I have to say. It's about someone who doesn't just talk about success. They've lived it in ways most can't even imagine. Imagine a place where every waking moment is a test, where weakness isn't tolerated, and where potential isn't developed, it's demanded. A place designed to strip away distractions, emotions, and excuses until all that remains is raw, unshakable mastery. That place is known as the White Room. And in its relentless crucible, one person emerged, the most calculated, a living embodiment of control, precision, and strategy. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on skills no school would dare to teach you. Skills that could redefine how you approach learning, observation, and even time itself. And who better to teach them than the White Room's prodigy? This individual didn't just survive the White Room. He became its embodiment. He learned every skill that truly matters, not to pass tests, but to conquer life. And today, for the first time, he's here. It is my honor to introduce the one and only Kiyotaka Ayanokoji.
Thank you for the introduction. Time is valuable, so let's not waste it. Here's what you need to know. Do you remember that question someone always asked in school?
When will we ever use calculus?
The teacher with a knowing smirk would say,
You'll need it someday.
Yet here we are waiting for that someday to show up. But here's what they didn't tell you. The real game isn't about equations or formulas. It's about secrets no one teaches you. Skills hidden in plain sight. The kind that separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on what they don't want you to know. Skills that, if mastered, don't just make you smarter. They make you unstoppable. Let's begin. The most powerful weapon you'll ever possess is the ability to learn anything, anytime. Imagine having a key that unlocks every door. That's what learning is, but it's not just about cramming information into your brain. The secret lies in simplicity. Break every topic into pieces so small they feel almost insignificant. Focus on one concept, master it, and then teach it to yourself as if you're explaining it to a child. This is called the Feynman technique, a tool so effective it's almost dangerous in the wrong hands. Spend 20 minutes a day doing this and you won't just learn, you'll absorb. Knowledge becomes second nature, and suddenly, every other skill you've ever wanted is within reach. Before I go on, I want to share one more secret to success. It's called the gap effect, and it's the key to learning faster. You see, the key to learning quickly is not in the time you spend studying, but in the time you spend not studying. Studies have shown that the real learning happens during the breaks you take, the rest you give your brain. That's why I use the Pomodoro technique, where I alternate between studying and taking short breaks. Not only does this keep me focused during my study sessions, but it also increases my overall productivity. Then there's observation, the underestimated art of seeing what others miss. Most people walk through life blind to the details that define it, but here's the truth. The world is constantly leaving you clues. Start small. Spend a few minutes each day watching people in a cafe or the way the wind shifts the leaves outside your window. Write down 3 things you've never noticed before. It's a game at first, but soon it becomes second nature. Patterns emerge. You see not just what's there, but what's about to happen. Observation isn't just a skill. It's a cheat code for understanding life itself. I use a concept called chunking to improve my perception and concentration, especially when things are chaotic. You see, our brains can only process so much information at once, so we have to find a way to simplify things. By chunking, I break down complex information into smaller, manageable chunks and focus on one thing at a time. This helps me pay attention to the things that matter the most and ignore the distractions. Now, let's talk about emotional mastery. Emotions make us human, that's what they say. But that's only half the truth. Uncontrolled emotions are liabilities. Mastered, they become weapons. Here's the playbook. When chaos hits, pause and label the emotion, anger, frustration, fear. Naming it is the first step toward control. Then, ask yourself one question. What action can I take right now to neutralize this? Think of it like disarming a bomb. With each situation you diffuse, you take one step closer to emotional invincibility. The world won't teach you this. They want you to react, not think. But now, you know better. You see, sometimes our emotions can get the best of us. We feel angry, frustrated, or anxious, and it's hard to control these emotions. But there's a technique I use called cognitive reappraisal. It means taking a step back and looking at things from a different angle. Instead of getting caught up in our emotions, we can change the way we think about a situation, which changes the way we feel about it. It's like looking at the same situation through a different lens. By doing this, we can take back control of our emotions and respond in a more calm and rational way. Influence is another skill they hide in plain sight. It's not about manipulation, it's about clarity so sharp it cuts through doubt. Start with this: speak less, listen more. Aim for 70% listening and 30% speaking, and when you do speak, tell stories instead of facts. Stories bypass logic and embed themselves directly into emotion. They're unforgettable. Do this, and you'll notice something strange. People start leaning in, captivated. They'll follow you not because they have to, but because they want to. Influence is power, and power, wielded correctly, changes everything. When I'm trying to persuade or negotiate with someone, I use a technique called the mirror neurons activation. By subtly copying the other person's body language, I can make them feel more comfortable and create a sense of rapport. When people see that you're mirroring their movements, it creates a sense of connection, making them more open to what you're saying and more likely to agree with you. Finally, we come to time. The one resource everyone is given equally, but almost no one knows how to spend wisely. Here's the secret. Time isn't something you control. It's something you invest. Track everything you do for 3 days. Yes, everything, even scrolling memes. Highlight the 20% of activities that produce 80% of your results. Then cut the rest like dead weight. Don't overthink your choices. Act. Parkinson's law says that work expands to fill the time available for its completion. In other words, if you have more time to do a task, you'll find more things to do. I use this law to my advantage by giving myself tight deadlines. By setting a specific time frame for myself, I create a sense of urgency and make sure that I'm working as efficiently as possible. It helps me stay focused and avoid procrastination, which really helps me stay on top of my tasks and make the most out of my time. Progress isn't made in perfect plans, but in relentless execution. This is how billionaires think. It's not magic, it's method. These aren't just tips. They're classified intel for a life that operates on an entirely different level. Practice them, and you won't just improve, you'll transcend. By the time others figure out what you've done, they'll never catch up. And remember, some knowledge is meant to be shared wisely. Use it well.